Happy Monday, guys, and welcome to the Venue Live. My name is Roger Ramirez, and this is Houston's first online live performance venue brought to you from R&R Studio. We're in their studio today with very special people and awesome musicians. Evelyn with the FTW band. Thank you guys for joining us. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have all y'all here. Bunch of awesome musicians, guys. You'll get to hear their names, and I'm so excited because I grew up listening to some of these musicians, some of their music, and so let's get started, guys. Would you tell us your name and what you do in this band?
David De La Garza, keyboards.
John Calderon, I play guitar and sing sometimes.
You rock out the glasses, man.
Yeah.
And the hair.
And the hair.
Yeah, my eyes are dilated. Not really.
Evelyn Rubio, I'm the singer and saxophone player.
Hi, I'm Larry Fulcher. I play bass and I helped Evelyn produce and put this music together.
Marvan E. Alexander. I'm the drummer and I help with background vocals.
Awesome, dude. So, Evelyn, how long have you had this project going on? Tell us a little bit about your background and how did you come to meet these superstars? And how did you get them here? First off.
Well, try to be fast because it's long way. I have been doing this in this business, singing since I was 9 years old, so a long time. I started in Mexico. I'm from Mexico. I have done theater, television, almost telenovelas.
Oh, no way. In Mexico?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and singing, but when I started to do the music, kind of like it took me away from the beginning of my career. And I have been, singing, and years later came out the saxophone. Then I started to play, saxophone. And I just fell in love with the blues. I love to play any kind of music, but I just have a special relation with the blues. And so anyway, I was playing in Playa del Carmen
awesome.
just to make a living, to play the blues. I moved from Mexico City to Playa, and then
Beautiful spot, by the way.
It's well. I miss it so much. But anyway, you know how life works, and suddenly I'm here in Houston, and I think it was a great spot because there's a lot of history about the blues here. And then I start to have the chance to work with great musicians, to work with two B.B. King band leaders like Calvin Owens and James Boogaloo Bolden. I had the opportunity to record with them. Calvin produced a couple albums on me, playing festivals, blah, 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 and doing locally too with my own band. And it was time to do a new album. So I started to do it by myself, the first two tracks, and then I decided that I need a real music producer. And I heard so many amazing things about a man called Larry Fulcher. So that's the way I tried to reach him to check if he wants to work with me, with the Mexicanita. And the rest is history. So about the band, I think he will tell you better.
Have a good friend in this town, drummer Robbie Parrish. He said there's a lady named Evelyn Rubio that you should talk to. So Evelyn and I talked on the phone, and she sent me a song, and I did an arrangement of it, and she said, well, that's good, but it's not quite what I was thinking. So I went over to her house, and
Would you hold the microphone a little closer?
yeah, I went over to her house and talked to her, and she had this melody, and she just started singing in the middle of her living room. And this voice, I went, oh my God. Yeah, I think we can do something together.
You got the chills, man. You know when you hear that voice.
Yeah. So that was how she and I started on this project. And I got my band together, the Phantom Blues Band. We do records with Taj Mahal and a lot of different people. So I said, Evelyn, I think we could get the most bang for our buck, if we go to California and start tracking with these guys.
Awesome.
And that's how we got the first 7 tunes done. And then we went to Austin. Great guitarist David Grissom and Zach Person, another really great Houston guitarist. Red Young on keyboards, guy named Kurt Covington on drums. And we started putting this music together. And it turned into just great sounding record. So when it was time to put a band together in Houston, I put together my wish list of musicians. It was always David De La Garza.
Oh, of course, man. He's a legend.
Talented cats around. John Calderon is,
Of course.
just, can I say badass on your show?
No, yeah.
You just did.
we actually don't qualify for kid friendly
Okay.
on YouTube.
He's a bad MF.
Oh yeah, he is.
And then
He knows what he wants.
he knows what he wants. And then we're looking for a drummer, and they recommended Marvan. And Corey Stute, who's a Houston legend, also is the second guitarist in the band. And unfortunately, he's not here with us
He's
today.
out on tour, so he couldn't be here today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the genesis of the band. We came together to support Evelyn's voice and
That's
her
awesome,
music.
man. Yeah, she's great. And we're gonna hear you play the saxophone today. So, David, tell us a little bit about you, man. You know, whenever I started this project, and we spoke a little earlier, I reached out to you, but I know you're super busy. You know, you're always traveling, always on tour. Just I grew up listening to you and your music. You know, you're a Grammy winner. You know, I'm sorry if I'm like not really well informed with everything that you have done. It's a pleasure to have you here. I know you're not feeling well, but tell us a little bit about how you got started in music, man.
Well, I come from a family of musicians. All my father and all my uncles, and I've been playing since basically since I was 6 years old. But I started really playing when I was around 12. You know, and a lot of people know me from the band La Mafia.
Of course.
But a lot of people don't know that I grew up listening to R&B and rock and pop, and that's what I really, that's something I really have in my heart. And I've been playing that all my life. You know, if I'm not playing with La Mafia, I'm playing in town with John and Marvin, and we've all played together in different capacities. So, that's just what I've done all my life. You know, and then so when Larry called, every time Larry called, I'm like, yeah. What are we doing? I don't care. We're doing a children's album? Yeah, let's do it. You know? So, just a chance to get to play with Larry. And like I said, we all play together in different times. So, that's how.
You know, whenever I heard, well, I've heard about you for a long time, but whenever I really started like kind of following you on Facebook, I saw you playing like all this pop, top 40 music with all the different bands. And I was like, man, this guy, besides like knowing about you from La Mafia, I was like, this guy is definitely a lot more well-rounded than I thought, than I, my mind was, because, I growing up listening to you, you listen to certain artists and you're just like, man, these guys, that's all they do. But getting to know you as a musician through social media, thank God for social media, it's, the power of social media, which we're able to do this. It's great knowing that you are diverse, man, and you play from funk, everything.
You gotta be. It's just the love of music. It's the love of music.
You do your own shows. You sing. I mean, awesome.
We had one last night. That's why I'm feeling a little, too many tequila shots. I think.
Well, dude, it's awesome to have you here, and a pleasure, man.
Thank
Hopefully, you bring your band here for a jam session.
For sure.
Not that you made it here. Thank you, dude. It's a pleasure to meet you
man. Thank
officially. And so, John, tell us a little bit about you, man. Tell us a little bit about your history and your amazing hair, man. I want to know a little bit about that.
Well, this is natural. I don't put any curly stuff in it. No. I got this hair from my daddy. He had long curly hair. Man, I'm a native to the greater Houston area. I've been here forever. Moved east a little bit for a while in Beaumont, Texas, to go to school, and came back. Taught for a little bit, but I really wanted to play, so started playing more often, and quit a full-time teaching position to pursue a music career. So I've been doing that forever, and I'm still doing that. I'm a full-time musician and a part-time educator now, so I love to teach, so I do that. But yeah, like David was saying, we all work together here when we're in town, and as far as the playing goes, I'm just a product of the area. If you're gonna be a musician, a working musician in the area, you got to know how to play. You got to be funky. You got to know the blues, and you're gonna get calls to play gospel gigs, and the whole gamut. And that's hopefully you can hear that and everybody's playing.
Yes,
I mean,
of
David,
course.
like he was saying, I mean, he's not just, a lot of people know him from La Mafia, but when we do our thing, it's funky R&B and soul.
Yes.
You know, and then with some blues thrown in there, you know, it's just a natural thing from, you know, from the soil that we grew in.
And it's amazing how musicians of your caliber are able to incorporate other styles into you know like mafia, or you know, just bring something from a certain style and put it into another style, which is what really, you know, what I value in a musician, to where they're not close-minded. You have to be open-minded and just, you know, it's like, you know, we're a melting pot here in Houston, and you know what they say, you know, like the more of different kinds of things, you know, it's just better. And I admire that in musicians like y'all, where you can play straight 1 2 1 4 5, but then at the same time like jump over to the blues or jump over to, like, you know, funk, and that's really admirable, man.
We'll go straight from some James Brown directly to some Freddie Fender. I mean, just, and
It's
we
a
don't,
different kind of soul.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But we don't even question. There's no reason to question it. There's no reason to stop for 1 millisecond to wonder if anybody's gonna like it. I mean, on some level, we don't care, but
yes.
but
As long as we like it.
As long as
Yeah,
you like
yeah.
it. As long as you're enjoying it, you know,
Yeah.
because you have to enjoy it as well.
our job as musicians is to serve up good stuff. You know, just to serve up good stuff.
And then at the same time, you're like awesome human beings. I mean, you're kind. You know what I've known about you so far. You know, I can tell about a person by the way I communicate in the booth. You know, and y'all are very awesome, kind people, man.
Al Jarreau told me one time. He says, "It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice."
Ooh, that's a nice saying, man. Well, it's a pleasure to have you here, man. Pleasure
you
to
so
meet
much.
you, Mr. Marvin, man. Let's tell us a little bit about your background, man.
It's Marvan.
Marvan.
V-A-N.
I'm sorry, bro. My bad.
No, it's all good. A lot of people get it confused, but Marvan E. Alexander. I stress the E because there's another gentleman from Chicago that moved here to Houston, and I have to be verified, of course, as myself. So,
Of course.
I'm a Houston native as well. I've had the pleasure of playing with many artists, backing many artists on drums, including Miss Evelyn, Larry, John, as well as Dave. And I work with Dave's band. I met Larry, I think, like for the first time when he gave me a call, and it was amazing because I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Because he was like, hey, man, have you heard of Larry Foch? I say, yeah, from Taj Mahal. He was like, yeah, man, he might be reaching out to you for, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, how you hear things, and all of a sudden, I trust Dave's words. And so when Dave said something, I was like, okay. And I got the phone call, and I was like, oh, this is pretty serious. And so, you know, just over time, just playing every genre of music. One of my favorites is, you know, I like Latin jazz, fusion. I also like R&B, soul. I'm literally everything. I'm pretty much sold out to any genre of music I can play, and just learn how to love everything. And some of my mentors say, hey, be a chameleon in music.
Yeah,
you know, be a chameleon in music. And if you're a drummer, you should be able to adapt to any situation, but rather than just read it or hear it, you'll be able to play it all, read it, hear it, and do it all at the same time. And
Well, that's great
you know.
advice, man. That's awesome, dude. It's a pleasure to have you here, man.
Oh man,
Pleasure
most
to meet you.
definitely. It's a pleasure
formally.
to meet you.
You know, I think we have heard about each other.
Yeah, we've talked on the phone
Mhm.
some of the occasions, and you know, it's a pleasure to be here. And shout out to the companies that support me,
Of course, man.
and everybody, and you know.
Well, it's a
most
pleasure to have you here,
definitely.
man.
Oh,
And
man,
guys, this guy rocks on the drums, man. I was watching him and just make the drum sound so good, man. You know,
Thank you,
I can
man.
get on those drums
yeah.
and sound nothing like you. I mean, I can try, and I
Uh-huh.
have done this. You know, some of the musicians that come here, I get on the,
Right.
especially drums, because I want to be like, how do they get that sound? But I just can't. And you make them sound so good. man.
Word of advice: just find what works for you and make sure your seating is correctly, and don't be subject to one thing. You know, feel what you're doing and be sure of what you're doing, but actually let your heart, you know, be seen when you play. You know, And that's what any instrument I recognize. Just let your heart be seen. And like you said, it really is, important to be nice and actually be a great person. And, I just strive to be a good person to everybody. Make sure I love everybody with without reason and a pure heart. So.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the advice, man.
Most definitely.
Mr. Larry, tell us a little bit
sir.
about your background, man.
Native Houstonian, born long time ago. But in the early 60s, well, 62 or so, my family moved to Southern California. And it was a big difference going from segregated Houston, which it was at the time, to Southern California, where everyone was together. So it opened me up to different cultures, to different ways of thinking. And something John said, it's really important to be nice. So when I started playing music, it was in a mixed neighborhood. I moved to Santa Ana, California, the home of the Righteous Brothers. But there was also great Latin, Mexican bands. There were guys like the Midnighters. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
No, I'm not too familiar.
Well,
You need to be.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, we're gonna check them out now.
But so my godparents are Mexican, so it was just a cultural melting pot, and along with that melting pot, you get the music from different cultures as well. So I grew up embracing all different forms of music. Naturally, being a black American, I heard blues and gospel as a child. My father ran juke joints in East Texas, so blues and gospel were, I don't want to say the root, but long before there was a tree, there was that root. So just being open and embracive to all kinds of people, all forms of music. I was fortunate to start recording with this legendary rhythm section known as the Wrecking Crew. So that was the first. They played on everybody in LA's records, all the rock people, the Byrds, to everybody. Sonny and Cher, they were on the Righteous Brothers records. They were on River Deep, Mountain High. That caliber of people at the age of 16 or 17. So I saw kind of how records were put together. And then just started playing all kinds of music, because there's all kinds of people in every room. So you try and play music that's going to draw in people, music that's going to attract people. And it's a language. You don't have to understand. Yeah. All of us have played in countries and cultures where we were probably the only people that spoke the language that we spoke. But when you start playing music, people respond to it. So there's a universality to music, to life. So I try and embrace that. I work with Smokey Robinson. My mentors were from Houston. I met them in LA, the Crusaders, Joe Sample and Wilton Felder. Those guys kind of taught me how to make records, how to approach the making of a record. So I try and incorporate that into anything I do. And Joe Sample is always on this shoulder, and Wilton Felder's right behind me going, but check that sound, but check that tone, check that space. So, and then I work with the Wailers in Jamaica, a lot of just different
super dope,
forms of music. So just trying to bring that whole lifestyle of music and embracing of cultures to whatever project. So Evelyn's music, it was just a natural fit. It's a lot of different seasonings, a lot of different flavors, and she's so capable. Yeah, she is. Everyone that has worked with her just is amazed by her voice, her openness, her saxophone tone, and so to have all these guys together in a band, it's like a dream.
To have all of y'all here, it's like a dream for me as well. So it's awesome, guys. Dude, it's a pleasure. Thank you for. Yes, they are. Thank you for being here, man. It's a pleasure.
Oh, thanks for having us.
All of y'all, man.
Thank you.
Evelyn, so what have you prepared for us tonight? Tell us a little bit about it.
We're gonna play 5 of the tunes that are included in the album that we're gonna release. I'm gonna release the next year, early. I don't know, February, March, something like this. It's ready already. It's ready to go. And so we're gonna show you just 5 of the of the songs, so where we can enjoy the beautiful playing of all these guys. And what can I say? Well, let me tell you a little bit about one, which is my baby.
Sure.
The name is Port Isabel. This is my song that it came to my head long time ago when I came, probably the first time I came to United States. This is a little town in South Texas where people go to fishing, close to Brownsville.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, long story short, I fell in love there, and that melody came to my head. And finally, with the help of Larry, I was able to put it out. Because sometimes people think because I play saxophone, you are like most of the people here, that you went to music school for so many years, and I'm not. I'm a street player. I learned to play sax playing. I got a mentor, Alfonso Miranda, wherever you are. Thank you always, man, always. He's the one pushed me to be a musician, became a musician, to write songs, to, not just the singing, because for me, I'm a singer first and then whatever, I'm an actress, I'm a dancer, whatever. Yeah. But first of all, I'm a singer. But once you open the door of the music side, it's completely another world to me. And I haven't fulfilled it as good as these guys, but I'm in there,
You're definitely in there.
It makes me feel so good when I go to the jams or somebody invite me to go there with my saxophone, and I know the caliber of these guys, but still, if I can handle them, you don't know how much I enjoy it and I appreciate it.
Oh, of course. Well, being a musician, going back to your point that you made earlier, it's not just being able to spit out notes, I mean, there's so much more than to being a musician. There's listening.
Yeah.
There is the theory, which is definitely like an excellent part of it, but there's also being able to just play. Being able to just sitting with people and, they give you a chord structure, and being able to just see that and see those chords and make something of it. There's much more than just, your etudes or your scales, and learning how to play with people. It's a big part. I've played with some musicians that don't know how to play with people, that are selfish, that are not able to admit whenever they make a mistake. There's so much to being a musician. And I believe all of y'all are way past that level. It's where y'all can just adapt to being chameleons, man. It goes right back to that.
It's not about competition or impress, it's just let's enjoy it and work together,
So where can people find you on social media?
Oh, well, I'm Evelyn Rubio on Facebook. I have my musician page and the friendly one. You have so many friends that you never know, but anyway, hey, friends. And I'm on Instagram too. I think it's Evelyn Rubio Jazz or something like this, but I'm there. And Twitter, and anyway, you will find me here.
Yeah.
Locally, I'm performing most of the time, but I can't wait to go out. And if it's possible with this band, that's a dream that I hope next year I can make it come true.
Well, that's awesome, guys.
I hope so.
I mean, everybody. I mean, I can go around. Where can anybody find you, man? You have your page. I mean, David de la Garza, John Calderon. I mean, everybody has their own page, man. Page, yeah. And so we're gonna tag all these guys on this video. Yeah, we're gonna tag all of you on this video, so make sure people can that listen to this, they can click on your name directly and go see where you're at. Guys, thank you for watching on YouTube. Support our channel, subscribe to our channel. We showcase local artists.
Can I say something?
Sure,
you want to see this band live? We're going to be on January 14 at the Monkey Dog, 7:30. It's a Tuesday, so early. You can go have a drink, a dinner, have a 1 hour spectacular show, and then go home. And we're going to be there with John Staheli too, with his band too.
Oh,
the
awesome,
Staheli
guys.
Brothers.
It's gonna be a fun night.
So 2 bands.
Definitely go and check them out, guys.
Yeah. We talk later.
If you're watching on YouTube, guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We showcase amazing musicians, and we do this 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. Today we have another band coming afterwards. but subscribe to our channel. Help us grow. Help us to be able to do this for a long time. If you're watching on Facebook, share the event, guys. Make sure these guys get seen by new people every time you share the event. You know, there's power of social media. Share it so that somebody new can see them. Maybe that person will share. And that's the power of social media. We live in an age of technology, so we have to use the technology that we're given. I know you have a phone in your hands, and so just click on share. It doesn't cost anything. You may not be able to go out to see these guys, but we're gonna bring the music to you. We're gonna get into your homes virtually, only virtually. We're not gonna literally go into your homes, but
a couple of us might.
If you're watching on Twitter, guys, retweet the event. If you're watching on Twitch live, follow us. We want to send a couple of shout-outs to Kevin Hamlin, Tune Out Cancer, February 21st through the 23rd, and that's going to be at, where is that going to be at? The Wildcatter Saloon. That whole Cancer Fest, all the proceeds go to Texas Children's Hospital. Support them. Ivan Oropesa and Rock Animal. Every Wednesday we have a Spanish rock concert here with a whole different Spanish rock band every week. We want to support English and the Spanish community here.
Bueno.
Yeah. King Baby Familia, Diego for all the support with sending us new artists to showcase here. Severo Brown and Zona Libre. Yes, with
gracias.
KPFT. I had that backwards for the longest time, but it's KPFT. Thank you, Severo, for all the bands you sent us. And I think he hooked me up with you.
Yeah, it was Severo.
Thank you,
Severo.
Yeah. And Hank Lamb at 90.1 for sending us artists to showcase. Weston Audio, thank you for all the in-ears that you sent us. Thank you. We want to make sure that we keep using them, and they're really nice. If you're looking for Westone in-ears, for in-ears, guys, Westone, they're super awesome. I recommend them. Okay, guys, so I've done everything that I needed to do. Let's get the show on the road. These guys are gonna go play. Get ready. We're going to Capella, right? These guys are gonna go get ready. We're gonna take like a 30-second break while these guys go to the booths and get ready. Thank you for watching, guys. Check 1 2. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us today in the studio. I'm about to unmute these guys' channels so they can hear themselves. Make sure they're all good here. Thank you for joining us again. Let's see, where are we at? Can everybody hear themselves good, guys? Yeah. Are all y'all there? Let me make sure all the channels are good here on my end. I believe so. I believe we are all okay to go. Evelyn Sachs is there. Cool, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate to have you here, Evelyn. Thank you for spending your almost New Year's Eve with us, and it's a pleasure to end the year with a fantastic show with these guys, man. I did the sound check with these guys, man, and I was just really blown away because it's so easy to be able to work with guys like this. And so these guys are just total pros. Find them, follow them, subscribe to their channel, show them some love, and because they're here playing for you guys. They're showcasing their music here, and they want to make sure that they bring a little joy into your life, So guys, whenever you are ready, I am ready. Everybody is watching. Everything is streaming fine. And the show is yours, Evelyn.
Okay. What a way. What a way.
Just the thought of you
Awesome entrance, guys, man. Y'all kick ass. That's all I have to say about that.
Thank you.
I blame Larry.
It's Larry's fault, man.
Yeah. Tu culpa.
I'll take it.
Oh, yeah, man.
Okay, this next tune is the one that Evelyn sang for me in her house. We're getting some buzz in here. But she sang this just her voice, no instruments, and it's just beautiful, and it's called Port Isabel, and this is the tune.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay.
Awesome, guys. Very, very awesome jam, guys. That sounds really awesome as hell. Well, I don't know if that's the correct term.
Well, you know, hell ain't too
Yeah, I
awesome,
know.
is it?
That's what I was like. I was like, that doesn't sound too. Good sax playing, by the way.
Thank you.
And by the way, keys, the master over here, David De La Garza on keys, guys.
Thank you. So what's the next song?
One more.
One more last time, baby.
This is blues rock at its finest.
Are we ready?
Yeah, it's on you, John. You ready?
What key is this in?
People's key.
F flat.
You don't love me, 'cause I know you use my body, baby. And
Dang, John, you're killing it. You're killing it, bro. You're sounding dope. Sounding dope, man. Somebody listening to the show on their phone, I hear it. Man, all y'all sound really good, guys. Sound really, really good. It's awesome to have y'all, all of y'all here.
You mean one of us is listening to the show?
Yeah, somebody's phone is on.
Who is it?
There you go. What up? It's all good. Sounding good, though. Even the playback from the phone was sounding good.
What's next?
On your side. I was going to do this. Very interesting lyrics. I'm going to try to do my best with my English.
Your English sounds fine, Miss Saxy. That was only funny the first time, actually.
Kevin Brand songs. Kevin, I hope you see this.
That's what it's called. Still on your side. Time still on your side.
I wore mountains down to nothing. I see rivers come and go. Seem to stand still when you're young, but I fly when you get old. From the day I was created, I've been used and I've been lost. I've been safe and I've been wasted. What you choose is your own call. 'Cause there ain't no way to stop me. You can't forward from what you can hide. All you got to take advantage of me while I'm still on your side. I'm written down beside your name when you arrive and when you go. I've been known to make love die, and I've been known to make love grow. Going down throughout the ages, I have stood up to the best. Kings and queens, new machines, they ain't never passed my test. 'Cause there ain't no way to stop me. You can't crawl, walk, run, but you can hide. And all you got to take advantage of me while I'm still on your side. Say that there'll always be tomorrow. Beg forgiveness for your sins. I seen people go to sleep. They never see the sun again. You better tell someone you love them while you got them on your hand. Take control, save your soul. You never know when I might end. 'Cause there ain't no way to stop me. You can't crawl, walk, run, but you can hide. I'm all you got to take advantage of me while I'm still on your side. I'm all you got to take advantage of me while I'm still on your side. While I'm still on your side.
Big ass song, guys. Sounds good, man. Evelyn, you sound so good, man.
Thank you very
There's
much.
nothing wrong with your accent. Gives a character.
That's right. Nothing more sexy than a Mexican accent.
Oh yes, yes.
I hope everybody thinks the
But
same.
not from John.
Oh, John.
What do we do? What's next?
All right. This last and final selection is written by a good friend of mine named Alan Gerber, who had a band back in the day called Rhinoceros. And it's just such a great tune. I've been looking for someone to cover this tune, especially with a voice like Evelyn. So this is it. This is
When you say you're sorry.
yeah, it's a happy. Yes, happy love, whatever. It's called When You Say You're Sorry.
Is this our last two?
Yay.
Is this really our last song? Oh. Are we going to be invited back, maybe?
Of course, man. It goes by so quickly,
It
huh?
does.
Dude, yeah, y'all are welcome back anytime, man. Seriously.
Can we cook next time, too?
We can have a little barbecue, man, next time.
Carne?
Una
something like that?
carnita, una cervecita.
Órale.
Sí, güey.
Some topos,
Cuando,
too?
sí,
Topo
so I'll make sure I have Topo Chicos next time you're here, bro.
Carne guisada?
Tequila.
Una carne guisada, un
Okay.
tequilita, güey.
And a cheesecake?
And
Okay, cut off John's mic.
the cheesecake. No, guys, y'all are welcome anytime, guys. Seriously. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Don't tell me that.
It's a pleasure to showcase
You hear me
musicians like
ringing
you
the
guys.
doorbell?
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Be like,
Thank you,
Roger,
brother.
open up, Roger.
Thank you.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure, guys. It's awesome.
This segment of our show is brought to you by John Calderon. When you say you're sorry.
All right.
You say you want my love no more. You turn the key and lock the door. I feel so ashamed.
Guys, that was super awesome, guys. It took me a minute to turn on the mic because I was just like, man, this shit sounds so good. Thank you guys for being here, man.
Thank you.
It's a
Thank
pleasure,
you.
guys.
Thank
All of you.
Thank you, Roger.
All of you guys. Hopefully, this is not the last time that I get to meet some of y'all. And hopefully, we'll get to have y'all back, man. Evelyn, you kick ass.
Gracias, mi hermano. Gracias.
Sí, sí, sí. A todos. Gracias por estar aquí. Todos que se sintonizaron. Severo Brown, he was rocking it in his car. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in to our show one last time, guys. I'm on another time. If you're watching on YouTube, guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give us a shout out. Let us know with what you heard, you liked it. I'm pretty sure you loved it because I loved it. So thank you guys for sharing this. If you're watching on Facebook, share this, guys. Look up Evelyn and look up any of these Giants musicians, man. Follow these guys. Keep in touch with them. Go out to see them. We're only bringing this to your phone so that you can experience them and go actually support them live, guys. There's nothing more than to see fans at the live shows, man. These guys would really appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in, guys. Guys, thank you for being here, man. Really appreciate y'all, guys.
Pleasure to have
God
us,
bless.
man.
Thanks a
God
lot.
bless.
Thank you very much, guys. It was another awesome show, guys. Thank you for being here. See y'all later. See you next time. Have a happy New Year's, guys, everybody.